PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Hello and welcome to PACTV Community News, local stories from your communities. This week we bring you an update on the Route 14 intersection project in Pembroke, stop into a nighttime photography exhibit in Duxbury, and take you on a ghost tour in Plymouth.
PCN heads to Pembroke for an intense dance program that visited the Pembroke School of Performing Arts. And we head to the South Shore Conservatory to learn about their Arts for a Creative Life program.
We head to the State House in Boston to hear Governor Baker appoint a state committee to the Plymouth 400th anniversary celebration. And Town Talk brings Kingston's town administrator to our set.
It's going to be a great show when we begin at the State House. After years of hard work and 2 administrations, the Plymouth 400th will be working with an appointed state commission to set into motion the educational and celebratory events of the 400th. PCN was at the State House to capture this special milestone.
So today is the culmination of years of work and years of gaining consensus with the state of Massachusetts. So today we have been through 2 administrations now, and Charlie Baker is going to swear everyone in, sign the executive order, and we will have a state commission that has people from every corner of the state, from diverse backgrounds and diverse industries.
So the Commonwealth has been very generous for the past couple of years and has made a substantial investment in helping the planning for the event, and we now will be drawing on the state for expertise and promoting the events that are being planned for Plymouth. Because this isn't just a local event or even a state event. This is being spread out nationwide, and there's a great deal of interest in Europe right now.
So this commemoration is really a stepping stone to a lot of things, to new educational ideas, to economic development, not just for the town of Plymouth or the area, but for the state of Massachusetts. It is a stepping stone as well into the next generation who maybe don't know this story because 17th century history is not taught that much anymore in schools.
Today this makes us all feel good. We're getting very, very close to the countdown, the final countdown to 2020. And there's a great deal of work that needs to be done. And we're going to take this commemoration on by explaining the Wampanoag story that will be told really, I think, for the first time in the meaning that they had in assisting the Pilgrims. Also, the landing of the Pilgrims set the cornerstone for our nation. For our own government documents when the Mayflower Compact was signed. So there's a great deal of symbolism and a great deal of history that needs to be told and retold.
Oh, today, this just feels so right. It feels so great. Having all of these really important people that are going to be helping us through this, it is a wonderful day for Plymouth 400, and it's really a milestone. One of many more milestones we'll have.
That's it!
Terrific, yay, here we go. More great stuff started in Plymouth, but like Michelle clearly said, it's for the whole state and really for the whole country.
Yeah, I have to say, this is probably my 4th story working with the Plymouth 400th over the past, few years since I've been working here. And each event, I feel like they're such a dedicated and great group of people that each event you feel like you're so much more closer to the goal.
Right.
And that day just had this spirit of like, yes, like here's the concrete, we're pouring the concrete,
Right.
It's going to happen.
The foundation
It's just like
is
a really
solid.
good,
yeah.
good event,
Yeah.
and the governor's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's
We're
such a
very
chill guy.
fortunate. We're very fortunate.
I have to say, I was like, he's just really friendly,
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah.
So it was a really great event, and it's
And we'll have much more on the
400th is coming.
400th as it progresses towards the 400th.
absolutely.
Since early spring, Pembroke drivers that travel by way of Route 14 have noticed the ongoing construction that hasn't stopped as we head into the fall season. Whether you're coming in from the south, from Mattakesett, or from the north off Route 53, construction has been going on at a steady clip. Well, we want to let you know that there is an end in sight, just not this year. We spoke with the town's DPW director to get the details on the ongoing Route 14 project.
Road work. It's right up there with death and taxes as one of life's inevitabilities. But unlike the other two options, at least this one serves the purpose of fixing something that needed fixing, even if it means avoiding cones and slowing down for traffic cops the way the drivers have had to here on Route 14 lately. Since construction began several months ago, signs like the one you see here behind me have become a familiar sight for folks that use Route 14 on a regular basis. So far, the roadwork hasn't caused too many traffic delays, and that's a good sign, because drivers will have to get used to it for the short-term foreseeable future. The short-term future meaning hopefully August of 2018. And while that may seem way off, it's relatively short considering how long work like this stays on the drawing board before actually breaking ground.
Well, I've been dealing with the Route 14 corridor project for 11 years. Back when I became assistant director, the then director Mike Valenti and commissioners decided to take it from the 25% design to the 100% design and get it programmed into the tip for the federal funding and state funding, which happened back in 14. It actually went out to bid last fall for spring construction, which started in April with the surveying, tree taken down and grubbing, and then the first shovel in the ground early May.
The project will include drainage improvements, 11-foot travelways, 4-foot paved shoulders, a sidewalk on one side of the street, and has an overall cost of $8 million.
The towns pay for the design and permitting for these projects, and that's usually 10 to 15%, so the town probably spent anywhere between $700,000 and $1 million for this $8 million project. And once it goes out to bid, Mass DOT puts it out, and they do all the inspections and oversight. So once the town's done with the permitting and everything, it really becomes a Mass DOT project.
And for one of the state's smaller roadways, Route 14 still carries a good amount of volume, with around 10,000 vehicle trips daily on the southwestern end and between 13,000 and 14,000 trips on the northeastern end from Parker Street to Route 53. As far as backups are concerned, it all depends on who's working in each area on any given day.
Sometimes you could have 6, 7 crews out there, and it's going to be longer delays. I haven't seen any that have been ridiculously long with the construction going on, but we ask people if they can pick an alternate route to try and just avoid the work areas and the work zone.
While some of the signs may get a little tiresome, there is one sign that drivers are always happy to see. Reporting from Pembroke, I'm Brian Sullivan for PCN.
The South Shore Conservatory recently launched a kickoff week for their Arts for a Creative Life program, with the goal of exposing our 55-plus community to engaging arts opportunities. Studies show that music and the arts keeps our minds and our bodies sharp, as well as brings people together in community. PCN stopped in to learn more about this program and its benefits.
I think that that's what's so remarkable about the arts, is that it provides a safe place and a common ground for people to make connections. Even today, after the concert, I went up to a group of 4 women, and I'd been watching them at the end of every song today, and watching literally them not being able to wait to clap.
So this week we're introducing Arts for a Creative Life, and it's geared for folks who might be a little more experienced in their lives, more mature, maybe retired. We're targeting the population about age 55 or over, but you don't have to be there. And really geared for adult interest and adult learning. We want to present a variety of opportunities for folks to try out some of our different arts offerings here at the conservatory. Things like playing hand drums, things like playing some bells, like in a bell chorus, things like doing some creative movement that perhaps they haven't done before, and experiencing a chorus that's designed to promote healthy singing and getting sort of back and comfortable with a voice that maybe one used back in high school or their earlier years and haven't used it for a while. So trying to encourage people to use that and really get to think about coming back to music.
We know from research that one of the biggest challenges of aging is isolation. When you stop working and you stop being able to get out, if you stop being as mobile as you used to be, frequently that means you lose your community. And the arts, we know, are the perfect antidote to that because you are in community. Whether you're taking private lesson and you have that wonderful relationship with your teacher, or you're doing a group class like a group piano class or a chorus.
After the kickoff week is over, we have sort of two faces to this program. One of them is internal, so that's having adults who are able to access our campuses, come into our campuses to take part in adult programs. And then another huge part of the initiative is to be able to take those programs off-site in an outreach way to communities like councils on agings and elder care centers, memory care units, where those folks there are not necessarily able to come to our campuses. And we already have quite a few drum circles and other classes that are set up. We have a ukulele class that's going to be running at one council of aging. And so this is really fulfills South Shore Conservatory's mission of making sure that we're reaching our community. We currently serve 3,500 students in 32 towns, but now we're really looking through the adult population to reach out into our communities.
Liberate Artists Group spent the entire day in Pembroke with the greater dance community on the South Shore. Kate Harputlian from So You Think You Can Dance was there as well, teaching dance to the students who are working to attain their dance goals. There were other experienced choreographers bringing their knowledge of dance to the studio as well. PCN stopped in to learn more about this exciting event.
Today is absolute craziness fun. We have Liberated Artists here with Danny and Ashley and Kate, and they're spending the entire day with not only our students, but students from the greater dance community on the South Shore. And we're dancing all day. We're in our passion zone here. Bringing Liberated Artists here for our dances aligns with our commitment to dance education, quality dance education, not only to our students, but to the greater dance community on the South Shore. This is like a wow. We like the bucket list wow, you know, to have something of this caliber, and our kids are just eating it up, and that's the reward, to see them. Kate's here today from So You Think You Can Dance, and we have Ashley and we have Danny, and they've been with us all morning, having a great time. I want to thank Jerry for bringing it all together and making it a wonderful experience for all the kids. PSPA is my childhood dream. This space is a space I never thought I would ever have. We are committed to proper dance education. We try our very, very best to take our students beyond the classroom and help them attain their dance goals, whether it be on the stage or running the musical theater program at high school when they graduate. There's a place for each and every one of those dreams, and that's what we do here.
I'm an NYC-based dancer and choreographer. I'm here teaching these fantastic students. We're doing a convention, an in-house convention here. And I get to visit these beautiful dancers and share a little bit of what I know and what I've learned throughout my career, and leave feeling good about myself. I like opening doors in people's minds. Things that they may not have thought about before, concepts that might not have been clear to them before that are suddenly apparent by one word that a teacher says, by one phrase that maybe sticks in their mind that unlocks a whole new world of possibilities for them. I had people in my life that did that with one phrase, with one demonstration, with one, like, opened up a whole world of possibilities that then changed the way I moved, changed the way I thought about movement. And so that's what I aim to do as a teacher, and that's what I like doing.
So my background in dance is I grew up a competition dancer. I lived in New York for a few years and I did Dancing with the Stars and Boardwalk Empire. And then I recently did So You Think You Can Dance, that big TV show. And now I dance for Shaping Sound Dance Company. I can remember being a very young girl myself back in the day, and just how excited I got to have a guest choreographer come in and all the different new things that they were teaching. It just pushed me even further and I learned so much. So to be in that role now, it's just so inspiring to see these young little dancers that are gonna grow up to be like me one day maybe, and I just love doing it.
I think that dance is one of those things that it liberates your soul. I know we're a liberate artist, but at the same time, it really does. It liberates your soul. You know, dance, I feel like, gives you such a form of self-expression, and it gives you a voice through movement. And there's something that is so cool about not having to speak, just having to create with your body. So yeah, I think it's really cool to give, you know, kids an opportunity to express themselves.
6, 7, 8.
Terrific. Both Maureen and I have dance backgrounds, and I know I can speak absolutely that dance is one of the most wonderful forms of not only expression but discipline and self-control of your body. And a lot of people pick a sport, and dance is almost more than a sport. It's something you do all year round. It doesn't have a season, and it can lead to all kinds of things down the road, as they were talking about. But it's also just really good for you.
Right. I mean, I completely agree with what you're saying about it's not just a sport, it's like a sport and an art. So it challenges your mind to this new level that sort of pushes your body. And in the meantime, you know, your body is like growing and, you know, getting leaner. And, you know, it's such a great art form. And I have to say, I started dancing much later in life. I did some Irish step when I was little, but really after college, I started dancing a lot more. And yeah, I feel like it just like frees your own body in so many ways, just by like pushing through it and just like keep going. And yeah, so
and
I
who doesn't
agree.
like to dance, right? Even if nobody watches you.
So you think you can dance? Nighttime photography. Seems simple enough. Bring a camera out at night and take some pictures, right? Not even close. It's so complicated that many people take classes on how to properly take photographs at night. We met up with some folks that are so good at it, they were able to put their group's work on display at the Duxbury Art Complex Museum. We stopped in for the open house of Night Becomes Us exhibit to see these fine works of art.
Well, this is an exhibit of 90 photos for the Greater Boston Night Photographers Meetup Group, which is a non-profit photo club, essentially. And we wanted to have a public show of our work, and we came up with the idea to approach this museum, and they granted us the big space. So we set out and invited 25 of the best photographers of the group, and 12 of them ended up contributing to this exhibit.
Well, what you're going to see is an exhibit of 90 photographs, and they show the range of different possibilities in night photography. And people are familiar with daytime photography because that's something that everyone does, but it's actually a fairly small group of people who are at the cutting edge in many ways in terms of the technical challenges and artistic challenges that night photography involves. So we wanted to show what exactly this group of people are doing and give people a sampling of what the possibilities are.
I started photography a long time ago, but not in earnest until about 2011 when I actually took a course in night photography. So that's when I got into it in a big way. And in 2013, I started organizing events through the meetup venue and founded my own group. And that grew to what is now more than 350 members.
Well, Jürgen and I are the co-organizers of a group called the Greater Boston Night Photographers. And we go all over New England and to New York as well. We organize photo shoots, we organize training seminars, workshops. We try to have art exhibits like this to get the work out there and sort of promote night photography and show people what we're doing.
I hope that this exhibit inspires people and makes them aware of night photography, which is certainly still a niche of photography in general. Not a whole lot of people do that, and night photography portrays the world in a very different light, pun intended. The mundane things become very colorful at night, very beautiful. There's a very transformational aspect to night photography. And one of the biggest differences to daytime photography, when you do a click, a snapshot, and freeze motion at night, there's no light, so we need long exposures, which captures the element of time, where clouds start moving and they form bands in the sky, and the cars become bright streaks in the road. Water smooths over to be a complete mirror, and stars form trails in the sky. So that's something many people don't see. And I hope that our exhibit inspires people to look at the world in a different way.
Dead of Night ghost tours, a staple of the Plymouth waterfront tourism scene for many years now, makes history come alive as well as the ghostly aspects that come with it. PCN stopped by to talk with owner Janice Williams to learn about these spooky tours just in time for the Halloween season.
Dead of Night Ghost Tours is a ghost and history tour through historic haunted Plymouth. We try to keep history alive, as well as the ghost aspects, that kind of things that go bump in the night. As my real career, I was a paramedic for 30 years. And a lot of the buildings that I worked in, a lot of patients' houses that I had gone into, I would see things. And I wanted to know who I was seeing. So somehow, in some way, I always worked it into the conversation about, was their houses haunted, or was the fire station haunted? And other people also saw what I saw. So, and that's what started my research way before ghosts even became popular. So I worked with the people that lived in these houses and the firehouses, and after I figured out who was going bump in the night, I felt better, and so did the people that lived in these houses. It's an excellent place to do the ghost tours. It's so enriched in history, and these people died very tragic, very sudden, very young, and their spirits just continue to linger here. And I feel it's a part of my job to keep history alive. We get all kinds of calls from different people, things that are haunted that they want to get rid of. But we did get called to, we did get a call into, it was north of Boston. And this family was being plagued, but it was not a very nice spirit. They were getting scratched and pulled out of bed. And we kind of interviewed them. And we take every case seriously. And when we heard and saw what was happening to them, it was something that we couldn't handle. We try not to get involved with them, and we turn them over to different types of, priests, ministers, maybe house blessings, turn them in that direction, because it was something that I couldn't really help them with. So that was about the scariest. I was like, it opened my eyes that there's a good side and there's a dark side, and unfortunately that was one of the dark sides. So we didn't take that case on. I love meeting people from all over the world. I love knowing who my spirits are. I love communicating with them, and it just brings history and the supernatural together. On our tour, it's not too scary. It's geared for everyone. It's a little history, a little cemetery, but a lot about our ghosts.
Town Talk today brings Robert Fennessy, the town administrator for Kingston, back onto our set. Welcome, Robert.
Hey, thank you for having me again.
It's a pleasure to always have Robert with us. Before we talk about all the other things we're going to talk about with you, tell us a little bit about the show that you have here at PACTV.
Oh, I do a show, as you know,
Yes.
called Kingston Coffee and Conversation. And I try to bring on guests who have an interest, who are from Kingston, and that the residents would like to hear about and see. I've had Sue Woodworth, our recreation director, on. I've had Leslie Ann McGee to talk about the dog park. That's exciting, that's happening, and some other guests. And I want to throw it out to the public.
Absolutely.
And ask the public, who do you want to see on my show? give me a call at the Town Administrator's Office. Number is 781-585-0500. And let me know, give me ideas.
What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about as far as Kingston goes on your show?
There's a lot going on, and I think, sometimes hearing from members of the public, you find out something else that is going on that may be interesting, not only to them, but to me.
Absolutely. So we will have you do that. Call in and talk to Bob. Let's talk about the town meeting that you have coming up. You originally had this special town meeting planned just for the police station, the new police station.
Correct.
What happened, and now what is it morphed into?
Okay, so sometime during the summer, it was decided to, the police station building committee brought forward an idea to bring back the police station article to a special town meeting. So the Board of Selectmen called a special town meeting and opened up the warrant, which means other departments can submit things to have discussed at the meeting.
Right.
And we thought it would be good to bring in some others, not just have a one issue.
Sure.
During that process, we did receive 7 or 8 things that will be on the warrant. However, in the board, the police station building committee, through the process, decided we're not quite ready to bring it forward so quickly on the heels of the town meeting that happened in June. So it was decided to hold that off, that one article, until the annual town meeting.
Which is in?
And that's in
the
May.
Spring. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
so
idea
the police
is
station will be on in the May.
Right, and it gives an annual town meeting generally gets more residents to show up.
Sure.
So there'll be more activity and more discussion and get a better feel.
And for such an important thing as a new police
it
station,
is, it is.
Yeah, you want to give it its full weight.
And it gives the committee time too to do a little more due diligence on the cost and the design and the location
of the new police station. So some of the things that you will be covering at this special town meeting include a zoning bylaw change. Explain that.
This is going to be a mixed commercial industrial overlay of a piece of land that is currently owned by the Sisters of the Divine Providence, which most people know as part of
Sacred Heart. Yeah. Okay.
And they're selling the property. They're selling majority of the property is going to a conservation.
Great.
For conservation.
Yep.
And a portion that's in more the industrial commercial area is looked at being bought by an entity that is looking to put in a mixed development there, which would have commercial buildings, some industrial businesses,
retail establishments, hotel, restaurants,
hotels. So it'll be a nice mix. Right now, there's no housing planned in that area. But it would bring in much needed tax dollars to the town with very little services that are rendered from the town.
Which is the big plus.
That is
it costs us a little and we're going to get a lot in
That's
for
right.
it. Okay.
That's right.
So that's one of the articles.
So that's an article that'll be addressed at the town meeting.
Okay. The Wage and Personnel Department put forth something about creating a position for an assistant director of the Council on Aging.
Right. The Council on Aging has grown dramatically over the past 4 years or so, 5 years. And in fact, they're open evenings now, which they never have been.
Yeah.
They have many programs and there's a lot of activity there. I don't know if you've ever gone over there.
It's wonderful. All the
when I
towns
go
are
over there,
experiencing
it's like,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
This is. And a lot of towns experience that because the aging population is becoming a major population in town. So there's an article to put on an assistant director so that they can expand the program even more and have more coverage.
Terrific.
Okay.
Okay. Another article is a contract with the Police Lieutenants Union.
The police, we entered into negotiations with the police lieutenants on their 3-year contract, which expired in July 1, and basically came to an agreement. That has to be approved by the town meeting.
Sure.
So that's an article that they'll be seeing on town meeting. It's not a big. We only have 2 lieutenants.
Right.
So it was an easy negotiation with them.
Okay.
Not many different things.
Okay. And the usual budget transfers will occur as occur at every town meeting and special town meeting.
Right. There's always a need to do interdepartmental transfers and things to kind of balance off things. Because when you think of a budget, you're developing that budget 17 months in advance to when it kicks in.
And things,
So
things change.
Over that time, and by the time you get it done near the end of the year, even then, things have changed.
Right.
And
in our last 20 seconds or so, there's a large hurricane coming up the coast, Hurricane Matthew, which we didn't know if that was going to be going out to sea, it looks like it's going to be heading somewhere up the coast.
Yes.
In the event that it ever did come near us, how would people find out about where shelters are, what procedures are being taken place, and everything else for Kingston?
As always, that comes under our Fire Chief Bob Heath.
Yep.
Great work in doing overseeing the emergency
Right.
management, and we would get it out by reverse 911
911,
call, where to
perfect.
go, and also on the website. And
Okay,
so forth.
thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hope we don't have Matthew
squeezed a
visit
lot
us,
in
but
that
if he
few
does.
minutes.
Yeah.
So-
Thanks, Bob. And thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed these local stories. We're back next week for more PACTV community news. You can see these stories on our website and on YouTube. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and have a great week.